Hey, happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday, everybody. I said, hey, yeah.
Right.
Long week.
Long week.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to the Dollar Hour. I am Deontay Burton, a.k.a. Mr. Short Dollar himself. We got a great show planned for you guys tonight. What we're going to talk about tonight is something that a lot of people struggle with. We've actually talked about this previously, which DJ Lab just reminded me about. That's how to stop being broke after payday. A lot of people have financial challenges. We're living check to check. There's nothing wrong with that. Stuff happens. We got something called life that can pose a lot of different challenges for us. But what I want to do tonight is give you guys some strategies to help you overcome any kind of issues you may have with living from check to check, because I know a lot of people do it. It's kind of thing just like health issues, suffer in silence with it. But tonight's show again, we're talking about how to not be broke, how to stop being broke after payday.
Right.
Again, this is the Dollar Hour. I am Deontay Burton, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. Mr. Short Dollar, we talk about personal finance, business, entrepreneurship, and investing. We stream live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. The main hub is the Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel. You can Google Mr. Short Dollar. Google it, go to the YouTube channel, put in Mr. Short Dollar. You'll see my big head come up. But that is the main hub where we have over 800 videos covering those specific subjects. Before we get started, I want to say what's up to my awesome producer, DJ Lab.
What's going on, brothers? Another Thursday.
There you go.
The best day of the week, right?
Absolutely. The best day of the week. I'll say what's up to my other producer, Slick 316. What's up, Reek?
That's right.
But yeah, man, we this subject matter, I know we talked about it, but we probably don't talk about it enough because a lot of people have financial challenges. We down here in Atlanta, nobody in Atlanta is broke.
Right. We all rich in Atlanta.
Yeah, everybody got an LLC, a CBC, and some CBD.
Right.
Shit, ain't nobody out here doing bad
at all.
I'm telling you, but for the normal people out there, you may have financial challenges, and I know that I've dealt with different things in my life, and that's why with being in the financial service industry over 25 years, I have a lot of information I can share with people to help give you strategies that can help you avoid any kind of financial turmoil.
That's right.
What cause you to doing that? Because manage your personal finances effectively is crucial to avoid running out of money shortly after payday. And what we're gonna go over a couple of strategies to help you stop living paycheck to paycheck to help you build some kind of financial stability.
Well, before we get in that, Sendai, I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Said blessings and happy Thursday.
Hey,
Shane Jack me said checking in, happy Thursday.
What's up, Shane? What's up, Jan? What's going on? Sorry, I missed the party.
Other than that, let's get it going.
All right, cool. What's up, everybody? Like I said, thanks for tuning in, whatever platform that you're looking at. But again, the Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel, that is the main platform. If you guys, but you can whatever platform you're on, feel free to leave a comment. But also got the phone working this week. So feel free to call in 678-740-9894. Again, that's 678-740-9894. If you're having any issues with living paycheck to paycheck, past to present, or you want some kind of solutions to help you get out of it, or any kind of ways to avoid doing it, feel free to call 678-740-9894. Now, we start talking about, how can we stop living paycheck to paycheck, right? People call me all the time with, hey, Deontay, I got this issue going on. I got that issue going on. A lot of people, psychologically, when your money tight and everything, can put you in a funky spot.
Mm-hmm.
But what I always notice with most people is that they don't necessarily have an income problem.
Right.
Like maybe if my job pay me a little bit more money, maybe if, maybe get a second job or do a little overtime and stuff. Most of the times it's not an income issue. It's a budgeting issue. It's a budgeting issue.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're sitting there spending your things that you have coming out have just overcome the stuff you got coming in. Now, I understand everybody different. Everybody got, it's kind of cliche to hear the whole phrase of live below your means.
Mm-hmm.
But we all know most times if you live below your means, you won't have shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, seeing say no colorful words. A kids are listening. I'm sorry, I just saw that.
What's that?
No colorful words. A kiddos are listening. I'm sorry. We sorry. I just saw that statement she just posted on Facebook. I'm sorry, YouTube.
We
Kiddos are listening.
okay.
We're sorry. We're gonna do our best.
We're gonna do our best.
We're not gonna promise.
Ain't gonna promise.
I just saw the comment when he said the word. We're gonna do our best not to be colorful, but we're colorful sometimes.
You know,
we passionate about this.
But no, we'll try our best. But you know, with that said again, most people don't have extra income problems. Most of them it's budgeting problems, and far too often when we look at it, we get those needs and wants kind of confused.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand everybody had different priorities on different things that they pay for and things they put out.
Right.
But those self-assessments, we talk about that a lot in regards to knowing who you are, what you got to have, and what you can and cannot live without. That's self-determined. Right. What's important to me may be important to me, and what's important to you. Exactly what I can live with, and what I can't live with. That's for an individual standpoint. Right. But it is very, very important for everybody to stop for a minute and take that self-assessment, because you can go on, you can Google and talk to some people. They can give you like, hey, that whole breakdown with needs and wants. But you really know what you got, what you got to do. Sometimes your gym membership, depending if you got any kind of health issues or something like that, you might got to work out, right? You might have to have a certain, the foods you eat. We all know eating healthy can be a little bit more on the pricier side when you start eating some foods that may be a little healthier or organic, things like that. They may be a little bit more expensive. So you may have to have a bigger budget when it comes to groceries or certain things. So with that said, that's why you got to kind of sit back and look at certain things. What as far as the have and have nots. Do you need the cable? Is your job determined if you got to have internet or something in the crib? Those kind of things got to be there. So that's why I say you got to step back for a second and create. And so, with that said, the first thing you need to do is just create a budget.
Right.
Tracking your income and expenses. Understand where your money is coming from and where it's going. Categorize your expenses to identify the areas where you can cut back. That's one of the things. Just like I said, that basic needs and wants. You got to identify that. What you about to say, Larry?
I'm going to go ahead and let you finish. I'm going to throw a caveat. I'm just going to throw a comment in.
Yeah, you have to actually step back and we'll look at that. Because that's why I said what is a necessity to me and what's a necessity may vary. Because again, taking in employment constraints, dietary health, things like that, they can vary from person to person. So that's why I think people have to stop back and just kind of look at it. We start talking about the needs and wants.
Right.
They vary from person to person. We're doing that.
You said make an assessment, see about the needs and wants, things we may need and things we may want. I think the part that I have and most of us have, we think we need it all. You get what I'm saying? We always add. I know people add it up, and if they have 10 things that they're trying to figure out if they need and want, 8 of them they gonna need. Well, I can't do without that. That right there, ain't no way. Ain't no way I can do it without that $400 cigarette a week. And I'm just throwing out this little thing that you may can do without. But we always say to ourselves, and I'm guilty of this. There ain't no way I can't do without that new turntable. Ain't no way I could do without it. And it's probably not something I need, but I definitely want it.
Well, I would just say this: ask yourself this basic question: what item would cause me? It's one thing for if I get rid of something, would it make my life uncomfortable?
Mm-hmm.
We can live being uncomfortable,
right?
But if something we just can't function with our life, I can't go to work. I know this is going to cause me some health issues. I got to make sure the kids have this tutor or something like that because it's very pivotal with their education. Or something. Some things we know what has to happen, right?
Right.
If it's just going to cause us to be uncomfortable, we can do without it, right? And we know it's basically just like what I want. Some people can say, I gotta have cable or whatever.
Right.
I remember I knew a chick a long time ago. This before I got married, and she couldn't even damn afford the damn the cable.
Right.
And she was just studying something. My kids gotta have their cartoons, and I just said like, you out your damn mind. See why the baby daddy don't come around.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting here like, just that was just something glaring. I just couldn't process. Like you can't afford this, and this is pre internet and all that kind of stuff. You know, you almost had to have certain things right now to work remote and stuff. It's all free. This is maybe late 90s, whatever.
Okay, that's where cable first came. Sorry. Yeah, okay.
You know, well, you know, you had cable, but just, you know, just banking on that, hey, we needed that. If it's something that can make you'll be uncomfortable, you can live without it.
Right.
But keep in mind, guys, I want everybody to understand this. When we are trying to get ourselves in a certain place financially, if we're trying to, you know, fix, correct things, and get ourselves in a certain space financially, you have to be okay with being uncomfortable for a certain period of time while everything's getting corrected.
Right.
You cannot expect to get everything fixed doing the normal way you're doing it. Because if that's the deal, you won't be in that problem. Right. So you got to be able to be okay with doing some things differently that may be uncomfortable, right? And I think the more you embrace that you'll be uncomfortable, I think it'll be easier for you to transition to other things.
Right.
Far too often, I think people want to experience change and be comfortable with it. Like, it's cool, I'm just going to do this. That's why a lot of times people start diets and do things they don't, and it doesn't work out, because in their mind, I'm going to do it and it's going to be something smooth. Right. Not understand it's got to be something painful, uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
Right. There's no change without sacrifice.
Exactly. There you go. There you go. And but you got to be mentally prepared for that stuff to approach, right? And so, you know, if you gotta, you know, if you normally get your nails done or hair done, I'm not just throwing things out there. You might, instead of doing it every other week, you might do it once a month, right? So those kind of things you gotta be okay with going through a little discomfort level for a certain period of time, right? So that first one, when we talk about creating your budget, tracking your income and expenses, the second piece of that is you got to set realistic spending limits. Allocate specific amounts for necessities such as housing, groceries, utilities, transportation, entertainment. Be realistic about your spending limits and stick to them. Guys, I can't stress to you enough. It's just like, you know, people when they exercise, what they say they want to have a cheat day. Right. But your cheat day really end up being a damn fail day because you can go so much over the limit. Right. And you can actually do so much with your spending, you put yourself in a point where you never can recover because you just went so damn overboard. You're like, you're going good. And in your mind, I've been going good. I can afford to, you know, slip up and do this. But you put yourself in another hole. You ran the card back up. You spent your other money on that. Now you got to rob Peter to pay Paul because you did that. Stick with the game plan, guys. There's a big correlation with success and discipline.
Cindy said that we need more community gardens, like more community gardens for, I guess you were talking about the food budget and stuff like that, trying to eat healthier, stuff like that. Just having a garden probably help with those costs.
I agree. But I will say that, you know, I don't want to spit off the subject too much, but those are things I think a lot of people, if they talk to their local politicians or whatever, they're probably on board with it, because a lot of times they have a lot of empty area. That's another show we can talk about. But I would advise anybody, reach out to your local politicians, because there are a lot of unused lots here and there, but it's still gonna come down to the bodies. I just know they're doing a lot of community work. Yeah, we can have a community bank, but they're gonna say, what you gonna do it or whatever. They you almost give you the land, but they always gonna come back to who gonna do it. You know, that's I just know that from, you know, being in that world and dealing with people. Like, you know, getting the place or the lot to do that one thing, just people, you know, we had the idea sometimes. I'm not saying that's something Cindy to do, but I'm just saying that there are, you know, those options are there, but the legs ain't necessarily there. That makes sense.
I think she's going on more of like natural health and beauty. It creates less financial needs. So like, you don't have to necessarily go buy a permanent kit or anything like that, or wigs or anything, because you're natural. You're living a natural, more healthier life, which may reduce your financial costs with hair products and food and stuff like that.
Well, let me say this, and I want to get this.
And that would be a sacrifice.
Well, let me get this disclaimer. If you're not a natural person and you don't want to you like getting your hair done, I understand. So I ain't finna sit here and say do that. But I will say this: you got to understand, be realistic about what you want and where you're trying to be, right? So that's why I gave the whole option of thinking you have to fix it twice a month, maybe once a month. Reduce it, and I guess half of it got your half, the other half you got your baseball cap on. I don't know. I'm just saying that, you know, just being flexible. I don't necessarily know if it's a good idea to change who you are if that's not who you are.
Right.
But you do got to make some uncomfortable adjustments.
Right.
And it don't have to be a whole lifestyle change. But at the end of the day, you got to sit here and say, if I got 5 going in but 8 going out,
right,
well, we got to do some things to get that cover up for the other 3.
That's true.
So we
That's
may
true.
have to pull away from this, pull away from that, and then once we start growing, after we got everything that's that deficit taken care of, then we might can revert to certain ways. But you got to be willing to be uncomfortable. Okay. Right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing about that's why I say, cost reallocation, how you're gonna redo how your budget and stuff set up. Be realistic. I ain't saying just totally give stuff up cold turkey, but you gotta have some degree of discipline to go along the change if you want to see that happen. The easiest thing in the world, when I was talking to the shout out Tri-City High School, when I was at Tri-City last week, and I told the young men, we had the young men stand up and say, say your name and what you want to do. Some guys say I want to be an entrepreneur, some say I want to be a lawyer, some I want to be a policeman. And I had to explain to them our goal and our objective is to make sure you go from I want to be to I am.
Right.
And the easiest thing for everyone is I want, I'm going, I will. See, when you say I do and I am,
right,
you don't pay some dues to get there. You did what I'm saying, like,
right.
And everybody want that word, those speaking. That's the easy stuff you can do.
Right.
So that's why I say we have to sit there and understand that there's a cost, a personal cost, a sacrifice to make it I am
possible.
And you dig what I'm saying. That's the thing about it.
I think that it's. I think. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. You gonna read comments?
Well, I see. Sexy Redbone said, I had my self-care as a bill. And nothing wrong with it. As long as you pay for it. And again, we're talking about, I got that damn dry ass cigar. Boy.
Say hey to your mama, wife.
Hey, Mom, what's going on?
But yeah, I think the word sacrifice is a hard word to get past. Because a lot of us say, and we know we need to do these things. A lot of us say, why should I say I work hard? I work hard to get what I, you know what I'm saying? I work hard. That work hard and sacrifice it's like oil and water.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Why should I have to sacrifice when I work and do everything the right way?
Because
why should I have to give up something?
I get it, but at the end of the day, and that's a fair question. The answer is if you working your own like where you at, it's just like the hamster in the wheel. You just running. You ain't going nowhere. And everybody, just it gets to a point where that beats you up. You work here, even just say you might have like a party night or guy trip, girl, this, that, and then you keep staying in the same spot over and over and over again. If you're fine with that, cool. But if you sit there and say, look, I want to progress, I want to be able to move, I want to dictate. If I want to work more, do this, that, and that, I can do it. That's the thing we gotta sit here and say to ourselves, we gotta make some changes. Because if not being broke after you got paid is not an issue, we ain't talking to you.
Okay.
But it says for that person that had that issue, like you can't have those I want aspirations, and you ain't, you ain't there. You know what I mean? Well, we got Bentley Ben. I don't know what you're teaching, Mr. SD, but I'll call the number at my earliest convenience. Good luck. We're talking about how to stop being broke at the payday. They didn't post it in. That's on TikTok. I usually put the tag up, but it hasn't came up through TikTok yet. But we're talking about how to stop being broke after payday. That's what we're talking about. Going over different strategies that you can take and use to alleviate the problem of being broke after payday. It help you with any kind of financial burden you have.
So Cindy said, work harder, work smarter, not so hard. Slave labor is so done. Yeah, I don't. Well, I guess the premise of working hard, people have their own definition of what they feel like working hard. I think I work hard and I sit in the office and you know what I'm saying. So the premise of working hard doesn't mean necessarily back-breaking work. It just means I'm at work. You get what I'm saying? Nowadays.
Well, you can work smart and get $5. And you work hard and get $5.
Right.
So the working ain't the issue. Is the corrective measures what we're talking about as far as that output.
Right.
We gotta, and that's the thing about it. And that's what we're talking about, the sacrificing, with it being uncomfortable. Because like I said, it's necessarily just even being less strain on your body than what you're doing, you still get the same amount of income.
Right.
But we're talking about a lot of times it's just what we're putting out. Right? That usually is the problem. Because the instant remedy is a lot of times, let me just get a little extra income. Let me do some additional income, passive income, get a side job, start a business and everything.
Right.
But you typically, that what most people find out, that doesn't change anything, because what happens is the more they got coming out, the more they got coming in, the more they got coming out in relation to that. So that correlation doesn't stop. But that's why we have to make some uncomfortable decisions that will change that pathway in regards to your financial state.
Right.
Because like I said, that don't usually, you can work smart, that doesn't change the number.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The number still can be the same. But what we're putting out, that's our issue most of the time, right?
Okay.
And so that's why we gotta sit here and just, break it down. Like, look, whatever. And this is not necessarily, if you look at it, this is not necessarily an individual problem.
Right.
Companies go through this.
Right.
Governments go through this. That's why they had those budget meetings where they got to sit here and just draft out of certain things, And we look at a lot of times, you hear with jobs like, look, we got to lay off people here. You hear some of these government agencies, we got to alleviate some of these programs and stuff like that. A lot of times it's what they putting out, they're looking in relation to what they have coming in. And I think with the premise of it, if people just start every now and then analyzing, those needs and wants and necessities and everything, they probably get a good idea or whatever. Because you just have to be okay. You just have to be okay again with being uncomfortable for a certain period of time, just to get where you have to be. Now, if you're okay with living like that, that's cool.
Right.
But you cannot sit here and have the aspirations of being financially free, financially independent, or just even okay by doing, behaviors and patterns. That's what we're gonna have more going out than you got coming in. It just won't happen. And again, exactly. Okay. Guys, feel free to call in 678-740-9894. Again, the call in number is 678-740-9894. We're talking about how to stop being broke after payday. The second thing I want to talk about is just building that emergency fund. If possible, save a portion of income regular into an emergency fund. This fund acts as a financial safety net during unexpected expenses, preventing you from going broke after payday. Here's the deal with those emergency funds, guys. Listen, you do not have to have a solid fund overnight. It's okay to allocate $5 a check.
Okay.
It's okay to it's okay. But the key, when you get an emergency fund set up, make sure it is not easy for you to get to your money.
That's the mistake.
You need to make sure it is very uncomfortable for you to get access to that money.
That's the mistake.
You get some kind of account where, you can tell the bank or whatever, listen, I don't want to have online access to it. I got to come to the branch and get this money, whatever. You want to make it where it's so damn uncomfortable to get that money. It's just like I can't even touch it. It's coming out your check just like the FICA.
Okay.
Right? You have to make it very uncomfortable. Now, if you're a very disciplined person, it's not an issue. Move it.
Right.
Most people aren't.
Yeah.
Right? So I would say when you're trying to get those funds set up, guys, when you start talking about getting any kind of emergency fund set up, money for a rainy day, you want to make sure. It's like I said, don't worry about the dollar amount.
Right.
Because if your money tight, I got a little $5 here and there, just in simple terms, $25 a pay period, that's $50 a month, $600 a year. That's a short dollar strategy for Christmas.
Right.
Do that. Now, if y'all turn around and buy a $600 shoe for your kid for Christmas, that's a whole nother show. But we're talking about, just basic ways you can actually have certain things set up to the side. We're just starting off.
Right.
But I think the key thing when people actually want to start those emergency funds, make sure when that whatever that account that you got, it's a separate account. But make sure you have uncomfortable access to that account. Your banks will allow you to have accounts. You tell them, I don't want an online access. I don't want a card. I can't go. Nothing. I have to go to the branch and get this money. Right.
Right.
And or it may be one of Those are virtual accounts or online accounts
Uh-huh.
where you can't hardly get anybody on. You have to go maybe submit something.
Uh-huh.
We just want to be very inconvenient for you to get a hold of your money.
But I guess my question would be, and I'm just throwing out a caveat, just trying to throw a little dissension into the soup.
Mm-hmm.
If you make it that hard to get to when the emergency happens, let's just say you're in the hospital and you can't get to it, but
Well,
it's needed.
Well, fair enough point. But let's be realistic. We got to get to a certain point because once you start building,
Mhm.
you make it allocated somewhere else.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, you got to start somewhere.
Right.
Most of the time, if you're living in a deficit, well, I'm talking about more going out than you're going in, you're not gonna be able to do that. I will say this. Let me give this side piece, guys. I would try to actually be trying to put money to the side, but I wouldn't be breaking my neck to save money to put it somewhere to save. Now we got a emergency fund and saving money, two different things.
Okay.
Saving, we're trying to put our money to the side, grow, we invest.
Right.
Emergency funds, just in case something happens. I understand the difference because it doesn't make sense to try to save at 1 or 2% while I'm paying credit cards at 20, 30%.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The math just ain't working with that. But when we start talking about that emergency fund, I do think everybody needs to try to allocate something and make it realistic. You're not going to have a couple months rent to the side, in a month or two. That's not going to happen. Especially, like I said, if you're living in some kind of deficit, that's not going to happen. But these are strategies you got to take. And like I said, the core of it, you got to have some kind of discipline in place. But I don't think that makes sense for me to sit here and try to tell somebody, do these particular things. And I already know that most people don't have, they have discipline issues.
Right.
They're not going to be in, you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm self-employed. That's why I'm extremely disciplined person. But I know the average person does not do. I get up, do this. I do this. I do that the same. I've been doing the same routine for damn near 30 years. When I get up in the morning, I do this. I do that. I do that every Sunday. I'm getting my clothes ready for work. I have to do this and that. I do the same thing. I've been doing the same thing for 30 years.
Okay.
Right? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Most people don't do that. I understand it. That doesn't make sense for me to try to get the practices that I normally do on people.
Okay.
But these are things you can do to help alleviate that. That's why I say if you make it uncomfortable. But to that point, what you asked, once you get to a certain point where you say, okay, listen, this is set up, I would say that then you maybe can look at a different vehicle, a different channel to put that money in. But at the end of it, you got to start growing it.
Right.
You got to start growing it. That's just for doing that.
Slick says the emergency fund is just that. Don't pinch off of it. Goddamn sorcerer says buy a certificate of deposit, maybe. Slick says people have no idea about savings. And then sorcerer says some people can't save, gotta spend every penny because they don't make a lot.
Well, back to my point. We're not talking about saving.
Right.
We're talking about an emergency fund. Saving, we're actually putting money to the side because we maybe have a goal for, maybe want some extra things for certain. We're talking about an emergency fund if something happened, where we can just, we just got some kind of nest egg in emergency purposes. We're saving for a goal. Right. You have more money in the bank, have so much put to the side, a trip, vacation, or vehicle, whatever. That's saving. We're building a fund for a purpose.
Okay.
That makes sense. So they're not necessarily the same thing.
Okay.
We're doing that. So your mindset got to be, I'm trying to have, a month, 3 months, 6 months of income set to the side. Have your goals set up and you break that down accordingly. I want to be able to do this over a 1 year, 2 year period of time. However it is realistic, you know what kind of money you can allocate. Well, that's kind of damn near like a bill, right? Okay, so it's not the same thing as saving. It's not the same thing. So I want everybody to kind of understand that piece of it. But that's why you want to make sure it's somewhat inconvenient for you to get to it. Because like we were just talking about saving theoretically, we're putting that money to the side, setting it up. You got in this saving account, got in this CD that's getting 1 to 5%. We got a credit card paying 15 to 20. Shit don't make no, right. So we have to kind of understand that mathematically that ain't working against ourselves with doing it, because the difference that we're paying in that interest, that high interest, it's taking away really what we save. We could be get that out of the way, and then we just do more, have a bigger impact. But that emergency fund, we need that in place just in case the emergency happens.
I
If
got
that
you.
makes sense.
I got
But like I said, guys, do not get caught up into trying to build this castle overnight.
you. Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of the biggest problems with saving. If it takes you a couple of years, not saving, but trying to build these funds or have these certain goals from a financial standpoint, you're not gonna be able to just get rock solid overnight. It sounds good,
Right.
but that way you gotta be patient with the process. And if you have a solid process, you can start here and get here. And if it takes you 6 months, if it takes you a year, take you a couple of years to do that, you're fine. I share it with everybody all the time. It took me almost 2 years to leave my job, from reducing all my debt and expenses to getting to a certain point. I didn't have during that period. I really didn't have a change in income. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
It was kind of, I was okay, but I had to actually get down bare bones minimum with my living between paying down debt, alleviating certain expenses and stuff like that to do that. That took me almost 2 years to do that.
Right.
But my goal was to get out of that job, right? I just couldn't quit. So that's the kind of thing I want everybody to be kind of thinking about, just, with building that emergency fund. Another one, the next one that we kind of been dibbling dabbling with, that's debt management. We just spoke before, paying off high interest debt. Focus on paying off high interest debt first. Like credit cards, high interest debt can quickly erode your finances. Okay. That's why I said, mathematically, man, we got that revolving debt going on like that. It's not gonna you can just be paying on it and not even hitting anything with the principal because the rate's so high.
Right.
Based on how it's calculating and everything like that. So you got to understand when you're looking at those particular things, you mathematically.
Right.
You can go, remember, guys, we talk about dinkytown.net, DINKYTOWN, dinkytown.net. There are like about 100 different kind of calculators where you can actually plug and play with your credit card balances at dinkytown.net. Plug and play with your credit card balances, how much money, what the rate is. You put in how much you want to pay on it, and they can give you actual a breakdown.
Okay.
Of how long it'll take. It'll take a couple months, couple years, and stuff. And you can plug in all your cards, and that way you can get a good strategy to actually how to pay that debt down. What numbers you can hit over a certain amount of time. They'll let you know if you're being effective with everything or not. Again, guys, call in number 678-740-9894. Again, I'm sorry, 678-740-9894. The call in number. You can also look at sometimes consolidating your debt. Consider consolidating multiple debts into a single low interest loan to simplify payments and reduce overall interest payments. Guys, I will state this. Be very careful when you want to go down any kind of debt payment strategy if that's not your world. Far too often, people try to go get into paying down debt and consolidating loans and stuff like that, and they talk to maybe the banker or a family friend. Try to talk to as many people that probably can give you a informed answer as possible, because the bank selling products, and your friends know what they know, right?
Right.
And a lot of time we go to family and friends, they always speaking from their vantage point. Like a person like me that's in finances, we're kind of trained to understand that this is the best pathway under these circumstances, right? But the average person just know under their circumstances, right? They lens ain't covering all these kind of things. Lab got kids, I don't. Lab got extra money coming in, I don't. I have all kind of other, I got to pay child support. I got all this other student loans and stuff like that. Next person don't. So we can't have the same. We have certain things that are mandatory, not mandatory, this, that, and that. So a person that's not necessarily trained or really experienced with dealing with different scenarios, they want to understand that. Right. You get what I'm saying?
I get it.
So that's why I say be very, very careful you get advice from. Somebody that you feel is smart and somebody that's trained, two different things.
Right. Yeah, I get it. So you just don't want to. You want to make sure you're talking to the trained person, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, not your boyfriend or your sister.
Not my uncle. Not my uncle on my mom's side. Or my uncle on my daddy's side. Twice removed.
Man, I'm telling you, boy. I was talking to a family member the other day. They're telling me stuff that I do for a living. I'm like, no, that ain't
right.
Like that ain't it. But some folks they just know every damn thing. You can't tell them nothing. You understand? So
that was the man who might hit the lottery a couple of times. He might hit that number 3-4 times in the last couple of years. Now he give you that.
He's a guru.
Give you that consolidation advice.
Man. Boy, I tell you. They out there though.
They out there.
They out there and everything. But definitely be very careful when you start going down that road, debt consolidation and stuff like that. I will say, just as a caveat, make sure you try to get it, different opinions on it. Make it as an informed decision as possible. We start talking about doing that. Another thing you can do, and we talked about this, but like I said before, it's a variable in regards to correcting the problem, and that's increasing your income. Side hustle, part-time job, and explore opportunities for a side hustle or part-time job to supplement your income. The gig economy offers various options for additional earnings. When I say gig economy, I'm talking about your DoorDash, your Ubers, your Lyfts. What's the one you stay in the house? Airbnb, Pass Split, whatever. They offer you opportunity where you can try to get extra income in with doing it. But like I said before, a lot of issues don't necessarily stem from income, usually budgeted problems, but you need some kind of cash infusion. The problem that comes from the additional work, side hustles, is you got to be realistic if you actually have the time to allocate to make that money.
Right.
Because if your life is already like this, right? Work, pay, you got to be realistic if you have the actual availability.
Yeah.
To be able to, create a situation where you can make more money. That makes sense.
I get it.
Because you like straight work, home, sleep, when you going to mix it in?
Between the
so you get what I'm saying?
I get it.
So, I would say sometimes trimming the fat in your lifestyle, a lot of times I would always advise people to try to do that first. And then maybe if you can kind of figure out some room. If you got it, you got it.
Right.
But I think that's probably one of the toughest things is that people's lives are so tight.
Already.
Already.
Right.
Just for doing it. Trying to mix in the hustle and the part-time job be kind of tough because people get out of say I'm gonna do a little overtime, work a couple more hours, and it kill theirs. It kill them because their body not getting time to recover. So you got to kind of just be realistic about that part. But if you got it, you got it. But it's just something to think about. Skill development, invest in learning new skills that can enhance your earning potential in your current job or side business. So any kind of tool you can put in the toolkit, that's cool. With doing it, if you got the time to do that, we go back again. You got to be realistic about that, okay? Be very, very realistic about that, okay? Also kind of want to look at, just cutting unnecessary expenses. We talked about that. We'll go a little depth about it. But identify those non-essentials. Review your expenses and identify the items that are not essential. This can include dining out frequently, subscription services, impulse purchasing. You know that, right?
Right.
Do you need a cable? Do you need certain memberships? Do you need certain things? I'm
gonna say yes to everything.
and keep in mind what I said, Lamb.
Because I'm being a regular person.
Well, keep in mind what I'm saying also too, Lab, is that we're not saying we're gonna move into the cave. We just might sleep there for a couple nights.
Okay. Out the week, out the month.
You got to be okay with being uncomfortable for a sustained period of time.
Right.
So we can't just sit here and say, well, I'm going to have. That's just like these folks that have died. I told you, I got my cheat day.
Right.
And they just cheat and fail the hell out of every damn thing. Well, you know what I'm saying?
That's where they come from, listen to those people who are not professionals and are just giving out advice.
Well, people can
listen to
people can listen to a professional.
Right.
But they still going to do what the hell they want to do.
Right.
And you don't put yourself in a position where, okay, like me and one of my sons, we like, okay, we're gonna try to go into a little fitness thing, cut down carbs and all that, right? That mean what? I can have it in my house.
Right. You gotta go.
Cause me or him can get up middle of the night.
Yeah, make a sandwich.
I want a cracker, I want a cookie.
Right.
Just don't put it in your house.
Right.
So don't put temptation in your door. So you gotta sit here and just say, what can I do to rearrange or put things in place where I don't have the accessibility that I normally have with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to kind of just look at it from that mindset, we're doing it. Look at frugal living, embracing like a frugal lifestyle where you can find ways to save on everyday expenses, such as cooking at home, buying generic brands, using public transportation. I had a conversation with a friend of mine. They eat lunch every day, and there's nothing wrong with it,
right?
Because I don't think that's an issue with them,
right?
But we were talking. They were like, "Spend about $1 a day."
A dub a day
Yeah.
for lunch?
Wait. Yeah, laugh that shit. That might be like, you talking about if you get not lunch, we say a meal a day. You start your breakfast.
Okay.
That's $8. Go get your lunch, that's $11 or $12.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that little damn coffee and sandwich I get from Starbucks, $13, $14 damn dollars.
Yeah, because coffee about $8. Yeah.
So it ain't that uncommon. What you talking about? That's a bill a week.
Right.
$400 a month.
Right.
Just eating that work. If it's not an issue, it's not an issue. But you see what I'm saying? That's $400 that can be allocated on something totally different. Yeah. Paying down, pay a card off, pay this, do that. You know what I mean? Right. Those kind of things we got to sit here and just look at, embracing different lifestyles. Again, remember what I said, guys. When you start trying to do this, you don't have to just stop. Because I think that's what I see. Sometimes you see people dying. I think all diets theoretically work. I don't believe all diets you can live like that. Right. Can you live off just eating, grass and fish
and water?
Yeah.
Right.
Eating watermelon every day. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll work then, but from a sustainability standpoint,
how long can you last doing that?
It ain't realistic. It's not probably healthy. So those kind of things, I think people have to be realistic about. Can they sustain it? But that's why I say, key is, guys, be okay. Be okay with being uncomfortable for a certain period of time. And I think the sooner people can do that, I think the sooner they can actually engage in seeing differences coming to their life. Again, we're talking about how to stop being broke after payday. Streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. Feel free to call in, guys. Come on, I know some of y'all ass got some money problems. Come on now.
They don't want to talk about it on this.
678.
You got the professional here for free.
Yeah, call you. Use your code name.
You got the
your code name, your stage name. Coming to the stage from the west side of Atlanta. This lady here is one of the most talented sisters. Come on now. Hey, y'all gonna call in 678-740-9894. Again, the call-in number is 678-740-9894. We're talking about how to stop being broke after payday. Going through the list of different things you can do. This is a key one, guys, and I always recommend people. This should be one of the first things that you do when you start doing, drafting a budget, any kind of cost and spend allocation. Let's negotiate those bills. Negotiate with the service providers that better deals can come, just like your internet, your cable, phone, insurance bills. Loyalty to a provider can sometimes result in discounts. Call them. Let Comcast tell you no. I'm telling you guys, when I went through my divorce, I had a whole list. Right. I called everybody. Look, man, I'm a disabled vet, single dad, and I will tell you, no credit cards, but all my utilities, I was able to get them reduced. Okay. And I'm not saying like some of the military discounts, some are reduced. If we got a new plan, we'll just charge this per therm, everything. And this was just off of humbug. Like, let me just see what I can do. And I'm just saying, you never know. Right. You never know, because a lot of times when we call to get things connected, they'll tell you, hey, this is what started off, cool, whatever. So you don't really have any negotiating leverage. But hell, if you've been okay with them and paying them and stuff, but now it's getting tight, call them. Right. Call them, guys. They have plans and programs set up, right? So let them tell you no. Let them tell you no. And if you get a jerk on the phone, speak to a supervisor. Let the supervisor tell you no. Right. If they say you can't do it, keep it moving, right? Right. But definitely be proactive. We're calling these people up and just say, hey, man, what can we do? I mean, I'm telling you, my water, light, gas, phone, cell phone, internet, I called everybody, and I got a reduced plan with everybody. I want,
right? Everybody have you as a customer, than not to have you.
Well, what you don't know is that everybody always have intro or different kind of promos and sales going on,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you just don't know. If you're already a customer, it's not going to be brought to you, advertised to you, right?
Right,
So
right,
I'm
right.
just saying, just call. Just call. Matter of fact, tomorrow, regardless if you have issues or not, start calling a lot of these service providers. Just see, hey, can I get a kind of rate change? What kind of plans you got or whatever? You'd be amazed.
Right.
You'd be
Only
amazed,
thing they can
man.
say is no, right? The
Yeah, that's
best
all they
thing
can
they can
say.
say is yes.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly. But but the actual change can be game changing. You
Mm-hmm.
talk about reducing from anywhere you're talking $50 to $100
Mm-hmm.
a month you can get reduced. So definitely, guys, one of the main thing, negotiate those bills. Call those providers. Just say, hey, listen, I'm going through a thing. Or
Right.
what y'all got going on?
Right.
And man, you'd be surprised. Uh, Especially, you start talking a lot of these damn utilities because at the end of the day, they still want money coming in.
Right.
You
Right.
might got some, jerk on the phone. Well, we can't do this, we can't do that. I've dealt with them, spoke with them. Talk to their supervisor, may or may not work. But again, let them tell you no.
Right.
Right? It's the time you feel like you don't have to make the phone call, it's definitely going to be used when you try to figure out how to keep this damn thing on. Your money's going right.
Right. Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Uh-huh.
It's amazing how we find so much time in crisis,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's why I said just we start talking about we want to be stop we want to stop being broke after payday. We have to actually start putting in practices in place where we're inconvenienced,
Mm-hmm.
uncomfortable for a certain period of time to get us to a point where we're okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the sooner people can get in the mentality of being uncomfortable for a point, I think
Mm-hmm.
that'll be okay, right?
Right.
So
Uh,
much.
Slick says bills will be with you till you die, and even then it's a bill. Get life insurance. Line Lay Love, we know you're not gonna call in. We already know. We try to get you call in several times, and you won't do it. I guess you the CIA. You with the CIA, so anyway.
Line Lady Love got a funny voice.
No, she just gonna call
She
in.
don't want to call in.
She she is the Fed. We appreciate you tuning in, though. Believe that.
Absolutely,
All right.
absolutely, absolutely. And with that said, guys, remember the call in number is 678-740-9894. Again, 678-740-9894. If you have any questions about, how to stop being broke after payday, you got a success story that you have you want to share, or if you got something going on, you just, hey, man, this is what's going on with me. What you guys think about it?
Right.
Call in.
Right.
Short dollar ain't cheap dollar. I'm telling you, I get these calls tomorrow. Hey,
Right.
man, look, bro, you got to book that appointment.
Uh-huh.
You got me free now.
Uh-huh.
I get them every day, man. Hey, man. Hey, brother. I love your show, man. But
Right.
man, why you don't call during the show?
And get it right
get
there.
it free. But man, I just want to talk for you. You got a little minute? No.
I had the minute yesterday.
I got it every Thursday. Talk to me.
I had the whole hour on Thursday.
Man, come on.
Or more.
But all seriousness is definitely, guys, even if you do or don't have any issues going on right now, please call those extra service providers, see if you can negotiate those rates and terms on your bills. You consider refinancing loans or anything like that. See if you can get a better rate, different terms and stuff. Don't sit around. Right now, probably the best time to start talking about refinancing with the rates being so high. But just know all your options and remedies that you can have possible that can be allocated to you. Right. That's the thing about it. We want to be when we trying to make changes to our life and put ourselves in a better situation. We want to be as educated and as informed as possible, right? We want to be able to know exactly what's out there, what we can and can't do, right? And that's just being proactive with reading, reaching out to people and stuff like that. So I definitely would encourage people to be proactive. Do not be afraid of calling people and not being able to explain yourself. You got to start somewhere. You know what I mean, layup. And I think that a lot of times we are worst enemies with doing certain things. I can share this with you guys. I ain't never had I've never had any formal training. I tried Toastmasters and all that other kind of stuff. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do it. It just I won't say I couldn't do it. I just wasn't interested in doing it. So, but with that said, I knew I could talk, and everything. And I still struggle with certain things with diction and speed and delivery and stuff like that. But I will say that at some point, it's just for anybody. Don't be afraid to approach folks and ask for things. The more and more you do anything, the better and better you get. You
Right,
know, so
right.
I just want to just get that caveat to everybody because a lot of issues that we can have from a financial standpoint, we can correct ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, we start the usual remedy is the same for most people. I need to make some more money. That usually ain't the problem. It's those practices we're putting out money. That's what bite most folks.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Another thing we can do, guys, is regular review and adjust. You know, regular check-ins, periodic review of your financial goals and budget. Guys, make sure you check out that video we have on how to set budgets and how to set realistic goals. That's like an annual show we do every year. So you got like damn near like 5 or 6 of the same video that we've done each year. But I broke down on how you can set realistic and attainable goals and, you know, give you the whole strategy on how to do that. So check that video out on how to set goals. We usually do that for the year 2020, 21, 22, 23. But go back and check out those videos, and I break down exactly what it takes on how to set realistic and attainable goals. But definitely want to be able to review those financial goals and budgets. You know, life circumstances change, and so your financial plan should be able to be flexible and adaptable, right? You got sick, you got baby, you got a promotion, you lost your job, you moved, you got a divorce. All these things can cause adjustments to your life and your lifestyle. So you got to be able to sit and say to yourself, like, look, can this plan I got, can it withstand any kind of, you know, a life change? Because it happens, right? It happens. And when you do have life changes, that's not the time to stop. That's the time to adjust. Man, I couldn't keep doing it, man. You know, they start changing stuff in my job. Just reduce it.
Right.
You allocating $30 to this particular $30 extra to this card each month. Some things change. Just allocate $5. Allocate $1. You know, I mean, just realistic. You just don't stop. You know, I just remember, like, you know, when we'll be at football practice or track practice, and what I always stuck with me, when my coach would say, "That slowed me through the military." Just don't stop. You can slow down.
Right. Just don't stop. Right.
And I've never, ever fall out of any kind of practice. And one of my teammates, y'all call it, I never fell out. Military runs, I never fell out. Now I might have shifted my ass down to first gear. Especially that Monday morning run. We done got drunk all weekend. I never walked.
Right.
I might just chug along. Come on, Burton. Come on.
Might skip a little bit.
Boy. Got my little hop, but I never stopped.
But the main point is, then stop and then go retreat.
Absolutely. Okay. So, but those kind of things, I think people have to look at. Like when things get tough, it doesn't mean quit. It just means kind of make it just. So we make these plans. We got to make sure that our plans are adaptable to lifestyle changes that we may have, because it's gonna happen.
Right.
It's gonna happen, right? You know, that's just it is what it is with that, lab. Ain't no way around that. Things gonna happen. Long as we living, something can happen to the next day. Just throw stuff off. So we got to just keep that in mind. And celebrate milestones. Celebrate your financial achievement, whether it's paying off a credit card or reaching a savings goal. Positive reinforcement can motivate you to stick to your financial plan. Feel good about saying, you know, there's no success that's too minor.
Right.
So be cool with, hey man, I paid it down or whatever. You might got somebody else. Well, okay, big deal. No, it's a big deal to you.
Right.
Because you know where you're trying to be. So,
you know where you came from.
Exactly. So don't get caught into a situation where, like, man, look, that's not that ain't gonna, no, that ain't one no big deal or whatever. Anything that you be able to do, that's great. Guys, one of the biggest reasons why Mr. Short Dollar had growth is because we had videos that caused quick fixes to people's financial challenge.
Right.
The grants, some of the things that had to do that, you know, people went crazy for that. But really, that's not life. That's not life. Nobody's gonna be a damn magician for you.
Right.
And that's the reason why there's not that many successful people in the world, because everybody don't want, you know, not everybody, but far too often people just don't want to go through bullshit.
Right.
But realistically, like, it's a correlation between those kind of hard things and success, right? So we can actually be working smart and not hard, but smart still can produce the same results as hard. but whatever it producing still may not be enough for what we need to do. You gotta go through some pain.
Yeah, look, yeah.
You know, it's some pain, man. Listen, you know, shoot, lab people know me, know how I get down.
Right.
20 hours a day, so I have to work 40 hours a week.
Right.
That's how I get down. I'm cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cool because when I party. You did?
Right.
You know, but people know how it was. What we had last week, the tax deadline.
Uh-huh.
I ain't sleep the whole weekend.
Right.
But I got that cha-ching.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So those are the kind of things I think people need to just be realistic about with doing certain things. Be appreciative with yourself. But guys, don't get in this rut where, because it's all over the internet. Man, here's the play. You can get this kind of money, get this kind of loan. People call me all the time. Hey, man, look, you know, I get a business loan and all this other kind of stuff. Man, you ain't gonna get no business loan, your credit shot, and all this other kind. If you have already shown that you're not gonna pay this person back, that person back, who the hell gonna give you some money?
Right.
I mean, let's just be real.
Realistic.
I'm not, you know, I'm not, you know, come on, man. I'm 20 years in the game, and I'm not gonna sit here like, if you already showed the history of not paying that person back, that person, who the hell gonna give you some damn money?
Right.
Who the hell gonna help you?
But it's a business loan, though.
Nah, you on your damn.
It's for a business.
No, but what I'm saying is that we're talking about doing this. This is not getting yourself in a good place financially. It's something that everybody has the capacity and capability to do. It's just if you're willing to make certain sacrifices.
Mm-hmm.
My hole this deep, your hole that deep. You know, I got a further way to go than you. That's life.
Mm-hmm.
I can't put my lip out and just say that ain't fair. It's life.
Mm-hmm.
Because I might have did more. I might have did less.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, somebody's girlfriend, a husband ran up their credit. And they're in this situation. You just got a different pathway.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. Spend less time focusing on what's wrong with you. Spend more time focusing on what you got to do. Spend less time focusing on what's wrong with you. Spend more time focusing on what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I just told my son last summer. Me and William riding, my 13-year-old. Son, spend less time focusing on what didn't happen. Spend more time focusing on what you got to do.
Right.
I can't have no damn pity party for you, brother.
Right.
You got yourself in this hole. Got to get yourself out.
Saucer says, got to take some L's to win.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And, you know, and those L's are really W's in the grand scheme of things because you can be getting experience. You can be getting exposure.
Mm-hmm.
Certain things you might like, dang, you know, it ain't going. I'm doing this. But once you done got enough of these, now you actually move forward. Right. A lot of times people just want to go from step 1 to step 5.
You
know what I'm saying? And you'll go 2 and then want to go to 4 and you got to start back over.
Mm-hmm.
You start back over, man. Hey, you know, that's a show we don't talk about a lot of times. I know a lot of people personally, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. You got to get out of that mentality of what you don't want to do to get where you want to be.
Right.
Who do that? Who the hell doing what I mean, come on now. I did what I didn't want to do. So I can do what I want to do. Right. And when I didn't want to do all the BS and all that kind of, I ain't want. I'm just saying from personal experience, man. I didn't want to sit here and go in that damn job, and I'm dealing with them damn idiots and all this other kind of stuff, man. Man, I done did too much in my life. That's why I say it's hard. It's very hard for me to hear people say I don't want to, or I ain't.
Right.
And you want to be somewhere.
Right.
That ain't how it goes.
How it work.
No, hell no, man. Folks start there crying. I start telling them all the stuff, man. Well, you know, what I had to do, I ain't never do that to save my soul, but it just over the years had to go through this, deal with these people and everything. And it just would going the gamut of building a business up, getting exposure, making contacts, and doing this other kind of stuff, stacking up money here. Maybe got to do this, you know, going through learning curves where you may lose money, lose time. You got to go through all that.
Right.
First, we start talking about changing our financial situation. When we're not living paycheck to paycheck, we got to make sure we equip ourselves to be able to sustain those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
Because nobody goes broke on purpose. Nobody gets in trouble on purpose. So, you know, we probably can admit that. You know? So what was that movie? Bruce and me? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had to do that. But, you know, the vast majority of us walk around here, we're not trying to put ourselves in a situation where we got to make life tougher. Yeah. And, you know, and it's not necessary. So with that said, be just mentally prepared and use the strategies that we talked about. Remember, achieving financial stability takes time and discipline. It takes time and discipline. And by implementing these strategies and staying committed to your financial goals, you can break the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck, and build a more financial future. So listen, guys, great show. I appreciate everybody tuning in. If you came in the middle of the show, came in near the end, feel free. Again, go to Mr. Short Dollar. Nobody want to call in today. I'm mad at everybody. Disappointed, rather. Feel free to go to the YouTube. Now, feel free go to the YouTube channel, Mr. Short Dollar. We see the whole video in its entirety. You can leave your comments there, just in case you didn't came in the middle or you forgot to you got a question come up later. Go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. Go to the comment section, put your comment, your question in there. I promise you, everybody knows maybe 48 hours at most before I get back and do it. But I will answer any kind of question or concern that you may have. Again, go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube, regardless of platform that you're looking at right now. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and take advantage of all the great information that we do have on the channel. Listen, I want to say from the bottom of my heart, I love and appreciate you guys for supporting us over the years. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next week. Take care.